Nature continuously challenges us. We innovate solutions through science. A revolutionary breakthrough in paint protection. Multilac Multi-Protector 3-in-1. Powerful protection for you and your home.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sports Talk with Knockout.
Hello,
Schools rugby
hello, hello.
season, rugby league එක start වෙනවා දැන් knockout වලින් පස්සේ. Special thanks to Multilac for coming on board as a coverage partner for the rugby season. We are planning to do something very special this time, not limited to talk shows. So පොඩ්ඩක් මේ පාර අපි පිටියට බැහැලා යුසාන් and Kevin පොඩි හොඳ coverage එකක් දෙමු නේද? හැමදාම talk show එකේ ඉච්චිලා ඉන්නවා අපි.
Wishing you
Kevin,
the best of luck, Akhil.
Thank you, Kevin. Welcome back to Knockout.
Yes, yes.
Very short
lot
notice.
has changed. Yeah, a lot has changed from the last time. The advertisement time play, show again. Abhi join में निकाली. Last time पटांग गत्ता गया. So yeah, I'm very happy to be back here at the Knockout Show, Rugby Show.
Yes, one Antonian replaced by another Antonian Nuzran. Antonian පොඩ්ඩක් මේ සනීපනෑලුවද?
If people didn't know better, කියයි මේ show එක run කරන්නේ Anthony and Zahira කියලා.
Right, එහෙනම් අපි ලීග් එකට යමු. දැන් ලීග් එකට යන්න කලින් අපි knockout final එක ගැන කතා කරේ නෑ යුසන්. අපි ඒක ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරලා යමුනේ නැත්නම් අපිට knockout එක වෙලාවේ ගොඩක් blames ආවා. ඒක ස්කෝල් එක ගැන කතා කරනවා. ස්කෝල් එක ගැන කතා කරන්නේ නෑ කියලා. කොහොමද මේ final එක? Trinity well deserved won the finals.
I think it was Akhil අර අපි මම මතක අපි මේ preview එකත් කරද්දී Sharp and I both agreed that it was going to be Trinity's match to win, and අපේ predictions වල ඇරියට we predicted Trinity to win, but not with such a great margin that they did. So it was a record breaking final for them and deservedly so. හොඳටම කරා, especially how they found Royal's weakness in that back line and they penetrated it over and over and over again, especially the Nippy Scrum-Half who got the player of the final. So spotting that space and එතනට kick කරලා ඒ kick එකේ වටිනාකම තියෙන්නේ chasers ලා අනුව. So the Trinity chasers knew exactly what to do. හොඳට chase කරා and luck was also on their side with how the ball bounced. අපි දැක්කා තව හොඳ try එකක් even from the fly off Malik who put a cross kick for one of the wingers to touchdown right before the deadline. So you can see the dedication from that team. Bowlේ deadline like කවුරුහරි වටපිටින් බලලා හිතලා ඇති අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ බෝලේ deadline එක පහු කරනවා කියලා, but ඒ chaser confidence එක තියාගෙන chase කරලා ඒ වගේ athletic ability එකක් පෙන්නලා score කරන්න. Overall brilliant performance from Trinity, and at the same time Royal were struggling to first grasp the situation. මොනවාද වෙන්නේ කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට හිතා ගන්න බැරි වුණා. මොකද right from the get go Trinity started scoring, Royal came back and responded with the try, but then from there on it was all downhill because the way the young scrum half and how Shan Altaf was playing at fullback and then Malik at fly half, all of them were just combined into a superior level and හොඳටම control කරා ඒ game එක.
Final එකට ලොකු score එකක් 50 ගානක් score කරනවා කියන final එක. Kevin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like what Trinity did really well is that they stuck to a plan and they didn't go to change a lot in between. Like sometimes, when you stick to a plan and when you don't try to overdo it, it pays off. And that's what happened for Trinity as well. And as we all know, we all thought that it was going to be a close game, going to be one of the games of the season, but ended up being totally different. And Royal couldn't really, as Yusran said, couldn't really adapt to the way that Trinity played, and there was no way coming back because Trinity went bang, bang right from the beginning. And then the tries, the way Trinity scored the tries, it showed that it is a team with a lot of confidence. And just to add on to a point, they dominated the knockout, except from that Zahira game where it went close. Other than that, it was a walkthrough for Trinity. And of course, a very good win for them. Last year, they missed out on the finals by a mere single point against Isipatana. And this time, they've started off the season very well. And obviously, they are the favorites moving on in the season. But yet, Royal will be really disappointed because they are a better side than what they turned out to be on the knockout finals. But yes, congratulations to Trinity.
Yes, and then all important league එක පටන් ගන්නවා හෙට ඉඳන්. ගොඩක් දැන් අපි අදම අපි සෝෂල් මීඩියා ඇද්දි ගොඩක් ප්‍රෙඩික්ෂන්ස් දකිනවා යුසන්. කවුද දිනන්නේ කවුද පරදින්නේ බලමු. ඉතින් අපි මැච් බයි මැච් යමුනේ යුසන්. අපි වීක් එක හෙට පටන් ගන්නවා මැච් එක හැව්ලොක් ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකේ. so league kicks off tomorrow at Havis between the defending runners up and the newcomers for A division, Wesley versus Prince of Wales. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that game?
I think obviously in paper Wesley are favorites, and ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ performance එක බැලුවත් knockouts වල ඒගොල්ලන් තාම ඒ same momentum එක ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ඉඳන් තිබ්බ momentum එක continue කරගෙන යනවා. ඒ winning mentality එක පෙන්නනවා. so ඒක හොඳ දෙයක් Wesley College එකට. so definitely they are the favorites to win that game. Prince of Wales have been in and out of A division in the last couple of years. හැබැයි මේ පාර let's hope they are here to stay. so plan එකක් ඇතුව Prince of Wales ආව නම් like how Wesley did, like how Trinity did rather against Wesley. If Prince of Wales come with a plan and mark those special players in the corners and in midfield as well. So Prince of Wales will have to be very mindful. මොකද Wesley හරි කැමති line outs උත් ගන්න, set pieces වලින් moves කරන්න. so ඒ areas හොඳටම note කරගෙන Prince of Wales හොඳ defensive game plan එකක් එක්ක game එකට enter වුණොත් they can maybe cause that mental win in the first few minutes of the game and give Wesley a lot of trouble. But overall, my prediction and money is on Wesley to easily win that game.
Yes, and Kevin, your thoughts about the first game, the season opener?
Yes, obviously Wesley are the favorites coming into the game, but we haven't seen much of Prince of Wales in the top division, and of course they're coming after a very long time to the top division. And sometimes it's good when you have a test like this right at the beginning of the season, like just coming into the A division and you face one of the top teams. Last year Wesley were in the top 4 and they brought that momentum into the knockouts as well. Unfortunately, they lost to the winners of the knockouts. So sometimes it's good when you have a test like that right from the beginning, because you then know how the top teams go on about the game, and you can really adapt to that. So I believe that it's a good opportunity for Prince of Wales to test themselves right at the beginning of the season. But obviously it looks like Wesley will walk through the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't be a one-sided game, because I really think that Prince of Wales will put on a fight here, because they are in the A division now and they will definitely want to pack a punch right from the beginning. So it depends on how the strategy that they bring up, whether they try to go all out or whether they be defensive. And I believe that they should look to be attacking than defensive when they come into the game.
Exactly. අපි බලමු. යුසන් මතක 2016 17ද Prince of Wales එක ගෙවුණා.
so 17 ගේ මම 60 69 හරි 60 10 හරි ඒ වගේ ස්කෝර් ලයින් එකක් තිබ්බා. but overall යාළුවෝ ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා Prince of Wales එකකින්. so especially rugby වලින් තමයි ඉතින් යාළුකම් ඇති උනේ. ඉතින් හොඳයි මේ අවුරුද්දේ they must be very happy that their team is back again in the division 1. so ඒ කාලේ හොඳ running team එකක් Prince of Wales. so මේ පාරත් let's hope they have that same energy in them. but yeah, I feel like අර අපි කිව්වා වගේ හොඳට Wesley College එක study කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ game patterns බලලා ආවොත් Prince of Wales ලොකු දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
yes, Tony uncle, thank you. knockout දිනු වෙලා කියලා කියනවා. ඔය පුතා අපිත් එක්ක ඉන්නකම් අපි දිනු වෙනවා. thank you Tony uncle. Mohammad Altaf, yes, new looks, wow, thank you, and all the best for your son as well to shine in the league. And next game DSSC versus Sri Sumangala. I feel this will be a very interesting game based on how Sumangala perform in the knockouts. Kevin.
Obviously, my money is with Sumangala because I wouldn't. If Sumangala beats DS, I wouldn't say it's an upset because from last year we've seen how Sumangala improved and the way they approach the game. They were not afraid. Yes, they might have not got the results that they want, but the way they approach the game, they look like a team who wants to win, who are hungry to win. So that is what you want when you come into a tournament because. As I said before, as I said before, the Prince of Wales thing as well. I want Prince of Wales to be attacking, and that's what Sumangala did last year. And knockouts, almost, right? Because what a performance that was, and unfortunate that they had to lose. But I really feel that Sumangala does have the mental edge over DS because DS, despite winning that Mahanama game, despite being one of the favorites, that was a very close game because on paper DS were favorites. They looked like they were going to win the game on a huge margin, but they got a match like a replicate, like a transform unna. So I feel like Sumangala has the edge on DS Senanayaga.
Izran, your thoughts about DSS versus Sumangala?
Yeah, ගොඩක් කතා බහට ලක් වෙච්ච ගේම් එකක් DS versus Sumangala. Because මමත් හිතනවා කෙවින් කිව්වා වගේ Sumangala දින්නොත් it's not going to be an upset ඇත්තටම because it's such a close game. The way Sumangala played in the knockouts, especially how they handled the pressure and how they counter-attacked, very impressive. And also DS, I think, played their first game with Zahira in the pre-quarters. They showed some great signs, but a lot of weaknesses in their defensive game. So Sumangala counter-attack, if DS continue the same defensive performance they had against Zahira, this is purely based on the knockouts. So definitely they must have improved from there, but there were many gaps that DS had to fill, especially at a center channel like 10-12 channel like ගොඩක් issues තිබ්බ DS pre-court එක ගහද්දි Zahira ගත්ත එක්ක. So ඒ gaps ටික හදා ගන්න ඕන if they really want to be the actual favorites going to win that game. But at the same time, Sumangala as well, although their counter attack is great, they also lack a lot in defense. So overall, completely based on the performances in the knockout, මාත් හිතනවා Sumangalට තමා chance එක තියෙන්නේ කියලා, but I'm going to take a gamble here and say DS might pull it off.
Yes. Score predictions will demo me passe.
Bit of candy bias with my prediction as well, so you can't really take candy from me.
Another game on 24th April, St. Peter's versus Mahanama College at the St. Peter's grounds. Boys, your take on that game?
මම නම් හිතන්නේ ඇත්තටම St. Peter's obviously in paper again favorites to win that game. So Mahanama have been also newcomers to this top division. I think St. Peter's සෙල්ලම් කරපු විදිය අනුව, especially against Wesley, the way that they came back in that second half and the way they attacked, the way they used their wingers, I think AA and their overall experience in the top division, they've been here for a long time. So Mahanama will have to be the one පල්ලෙහායින් එන එක්කෙනා කොහොමරි Peters අල්ල ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. So again, if they can capitalize on Peters mistakes, මොකද අපි knockout එකේ දැක්ක Peters වැරදි කරන ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි than the opposition. So against Wesley we saw that game, penalties after penalties. So ඒ වගේ ටීම් එකත් එක්ක සෙල්ලම් කරද්දී opposition දැනගන්න ඕන හරි මේගොල්ලෝ මේ වැරද්ද කර ශනික අපි we have to counter attack. So if Mahanama can come up with a ploy where they can capitalize on Peter's mistakes rather than try to force errors, then there will be a bigger possibility for Mahanama to make the game a very close one.
Yes, Inam says SPC versus Mahanama will be a cricket score. Kevin, your thoughts? Peters College versus Mahanama?
Sorry, I think my connection has dropped. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Your thoughts about Peters?
Yes, so if you take over the past 5 years, Peters have been, if not, they have been the top side when it comes to the league and knockout. And last year, not winning a trophy would have made a lot of faces go down at St. Peters because they always come to win. So this season they have a lot to prove, and that loss in knockouts would have really put them in a place where they like they got better than going down against in that, because sometimes when you're expected to win and when you lose, that's when you bring the best in you when you come in next. So I feel like Peters will they would have definitely worked on the mistakes that they made at that knockout game against Wesley, and I feel like they would have corrected their mistakes. And of course, had they corrected their mistakes, and if they bring their A game, it'll be tough work for Mahanama. But as Yuzran mentioned, if Mahanama can pounce on those small or other mistakes that uh, St. Peter's makes, and if they can convert those mistakes and convert those chances into try scoring or point scoring ones, Mahanama could really give a fight. But on paper, St. Peter's on top, and should be a win for St. Peter's.
Yes, and තව game at Friday will be a very interesting game. මරදාන derby එකක් ආනන්ද versus St. Joseph's.
මොනා කියන්නේ අපේ අල්ලපු ඉස්කෝල දෙක Jose and Anand. I think again Anand have been showing some real great underdog mentality එකක්. So කවදාවත් underestimate කරන්න හොඳ නැති ටීම් එකක් කියලා ඒගොල්ලන් පෙන්නනවා. අපි දැක්කා ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ඒගොල්ලන් ආපු හැටි, ඊට කලින් අවුරුද්දේ කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලන් they've come up the ranks slowly, and this time they've got a real good coaching setup as well. So ඒ කියන්නේ culture එකක් build වෙනවා around Anand. ඒකත් එක්කම St. Joseph's have had their fair shares of ups and downs, but එකම දේ වෙලා අපි දැන් St. Joseph's එකෙන් අපි ළඟදී ඉඳන් දැක්කේ නැති දෙයක්. I think these last 2 seasons were the X factor players that they had. So the last X factor kind of player I think was the Marasinghe brothers. So once after the Marasinghes, there hasn't been that sort of X factor player who can be a game changer. But in Anand, there are a few X factor players, especially from last year, who will be continuing this year as well, and in that center line. So ඒ වගේ players ලව mark කරලා තියාගන්න එක තමයි I think Joes will have that in their whiteboards marked out. These players අපි කොම් කරලා අපි mark කරලා තියාගන්න ඕනේ. So once Joes has that sort of strategy, and once they implement, once they can get a lead in the game, I think they can take the back seat and see Anand try to fight back, because Joes, they have a good defensive setup, but and Anand, they love to run, they love to play some good running rugby and take the big hits. So it's going to be a really good matchup, and I feel like although Anand may gain an early lead, towards the end of the game there might be a small twist, and I think Joes might come out on top.
Exactly. Kevin?
Yes. Yeah, last few years the first games hasn't been good for St. Joseph's. Luckily for them, no Candy School in the first game for them this season. Over the last 3 years, they faced a Candy School and they lost. But nevertheless, keeping that aside, when St. Joseph's come into a season, there's a lot of expectations surrounding them. So, like right from the first game, they have a lot of pressure in them. Even in the year when St. Joseph's was captained by Janet Marasinghe, they were one of the favorites, and they lost that first game, and they lost the momentum. So it is very important that Joes come with a very calm mindset into the game, forgetting all the past results from the previous year, because the last 3 years, the first games they have lost. Last year it was a draw against Vidyartha. The previous year they lost to Vidyartha. The year before they lost the first game to St. Anthony's. So it is very important that you start well in your season, because Joes always had a good team, but when they didn't get that start, they struggled to fight back from it. So I really believe that Joes should come in a very positive mindset into this game, forgetting whatever happened before, because again, they are a good side. Wouldn't say the best in the league, but they are a very good side who could compete well. So if they can come in a positive mindset, I believe that Joes could do a lot. And talking about Anand, got few good wins the previous year. They beat few of the schools who have been in the league for a very long while. They beat St. Anthony's at Candy, which would have been a big boost as well because at Nithaval it's not easy to beat a home side. And so there's a lot of positives in that season for Anand. So uh, when you bring in those positivity into a new season, it's always going to get better. So I believe Anand will give a tough fight for Joes, but at the end of the day, it depends on whether Joes come up with a positive mindset or whether Joes play their normal game or will Anand just capitalize on the minds of Joes. So yes, I believe Joes will win the game, but it wouldn't be an easy game for them.
Exactly. අපි බලමු තව ගේම් එකක් තියෙනවා Friday St. Thomas College taking on Thurston College. මොනවද හිතන්නේ match එක?
Oh, especially given that Shamli Nawaz is the coach of Thurston now. Yeah, අනිවාර්යෙන් දැනගෙන ඉන්නවා St. Thomas College එකේ මොනවාද strengths මොනවාද weaknesses කියලා හොඳට මේ වෙද්දී analyze කරලා ඇති. So Thurston will definitely be going into that game with a mindset of penetrating the St. Thomas's defense first because එයා දන්නවා අර scoring first එකේ තියෙන වටිනාකම that mental edge that it gives you. So අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ශම්ලි කෝච් එක්ක ඒ එන Thurston team එක මේ පාර පොඩක් වෙනස් කියලාත් අපිට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. මොකද අපි knockout game එක දැක්කොත් against Trinity that they played in the second half, they gave a really good performance. I know Trinity might have played their newbies in that second half. They must have done a lot of testing and whatnot, but to still be able to manage to be the team on top in the second half is a big deal, I think, for a team like Thurston who are up and coming. So ඒ කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් ඒ division එකේ ඉන්න team එකක් කියලා ඔප්පු කරා. So going into the St. Thomas's game, අනිවාර්යෙන්ම Thurston will give a really good fight. And where are they playing that game?
Air Force
I think Air Force ground. Yeah, Air Force ground.
Neutral venue එකකුත් හින්දා Thurston will have a really good opportunity to break the defensive lines of St. Thomas's College, especially given the handling errors that we saw of St. Thomas's as well in the knockout. I think the Thora team, they have a lot of work to do. Api dakka, this is purely once again based on the knockout performances that Thora were not the usual high intensity team that we've seen in the past. They're not going for the big heavy contacts. They're not going to play two pistons like they've done and keep hitting and then use the line in the end. This time they're a more fluid team. They like passing the ball a lot. They like trying to put their runners into space, which is the right thing. So team dekama poda hatpasimma wenas team dekak in terms of their strengths and weaknesses. But once again, as the seniors in the top division, I think Thora, they have that upper hand there, and a game mega කොහමරි අරන් දෙයි ජයග්‍රහණය St. Thomas එකට කියලා හිතනවා ඒකොල්ලෝ ටික.
Yes. So St. Thomas is every year walks into a tournament or a league as underdogs. Nobody really talks about them, but at the end of the season, if you look back at how they performed, they would have performed in a very decent way. And but anyways, I was about to talk about the venue as well. Thora hosting this game at Ratwalan, and over the years, it hasn't been easy for visiting sides to play at the St. Thomas's ground with the wind coming around, and it has been a tough. It has been really tough for visiting sides to play at the St. Thomas's ground because you can't really calculate where to kick, how to kick, because with that wind, you don't really get to play at many grounds with a similar sort of wind. So that advantage might have been taken away from St. Thomas's. So Thurston will know that as well. And as Yusran mentioned, with coach Shamli Nawaz being there, Thurston will come up with a better plan. But of course, Thora are a very quality side. They have history backing them. They have a good set of players backing them. So they should somehow get over the line.
Yes, expecting Thor to get over the line. I think they finished third last year. So, Balamu and shifting to 25th April action, two matches in Kandy, one at Pallekele grounds. Trinity taking on Lumbini. Lumbini coach එක අපි ගිය සතියේ පොඩි discussion එකක් තිබ්බා යුසාන් and Kevin. They seem to be very positive about that game. අපි බලමු මේ මැච් එකත් එකලම් කොහොම ටයිප් කරන්න එක අපි ආවා කෝච්ගෙන් කෝච් රෙඩිද ඕ අපි කොන්ෆිඩන්ට් අපි ගාව ප්ලෑන් එකක් තියෙනවා අපි ඒක බහැලා එක්සිකියුට් කරන්න බලනවා කියලා කිව්වා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හොඳ කැම්පේන් එකක් තිබ්බා ඒගොල්ලන් ඒක කතා කරා අපිත් එක්ක ඒ කියන්නේ ස්පොන්සර්ස්ලා ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක් අඩු ඒගොල්ලන්ට in terms of financial also but ඒගොල්ලන් හොඳ ගමනක් ඇවිල්ලා තිනවා දැනට කෝච් කිව්ව හොඳම පොයින්ට් එක බජට් වලින් වැඩිම ටීම් එකයි බජට් වලින් අඩුම ටීම් එකයි සෙලක්ට් කරනවා මේ මැච් එක. යුසාන් අපි පටන් ගමු මේ මැච් එක ගැන.
ඒක එක පැත්තක් වඩයා අපි ලුම්බිනි කොලෙජ් එකට congrats කියන්න ඕනේ මොකද their performance in the knockouts and ඒගොල්ලන් මේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන journey එක ලොකු journey එකක් ඉතින් close to them and hopefully they onboard some sponsors inshallah in the future. හැබැයි ඒ ගේම් එක ගැන කතා කරොත් අකිල I feel like Trinity is far superior. ඇත්තටම ඒක අපි ඇත්තටම කියන්න ඕනේ Trinity in paper in person I think with the way they performed in their final against Royal I think Trinity are far superior when you put them up with Lumbini who are brand new team to this A division. So අනිවාර්යෙන්ම Lumbini College ඒ ගේම් එකට යන්න ඕන with the mentality that they are going to a do or die mentality එකත් එක්ක තමයි යන්න ඕනේ game එකට because it's going to be that sort of game for them and if they want to prove a point ඒගොල්ලන් දැනගන්න ඕනේ winning is not everything but at least fighting till the end is what people are going to see you know not to just cut them off a mentality එකත් එක්ක ඒ game එකට ගියොත් I think they can come out with not the big W against their name at least a moral win if they can take it back to Colombo that will be a big deal. But Trinity, I think we saw what they can do. We saw how they are playmakers. They know how to scan. ඒගොල්ලෝ හොඳටම ස්කෑන් කරනවා මේ කොයිද ඉඩ තියෙන්නේ මෙතනට කික් කරොත් කවුද චේස් කරන්නේ especially scrum half and the fly half they scan the ground to the max and then එතන ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ඉන්නවා ශාන් අල්තාෆ් and අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා දැන් එයා 15 ගහද්දි එයා ලයින් එකත් එක්ක දුවන ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ දැන් rather than being a distributor playing fly half where he collects the ball and then creates the move now he's involved in the game a lot as the fullback because he's catching the ball more he's seeing space more no, because he's at the back and he has two good runners alongside him I think එයා හොඳට දුව සෙල්ලම් කරනවා and that is making a big difference so with a team like Lumbini I'd like to see him play all 80 because then we'd be able to see his full capabilities as well I think that game for me I think it's going to be a 50 plus game for Trinity Akil. You're on mute Akil.
You're on mute, yeah.
Sorry, 50 plus for Trinity and Kevin.
I think Kevin is stuck.
Stuck වෙලා වගේ.
Yeah, so I believe just as I said for Prince of Wales, can you hear me?
Yeah,
now you can.
Yeah. So just as I said for Prince of Wales, this is a very good test for Lumbini because they are playing against the top side in the league. So they have this opportunity to test and see where they stand. I think Akil just dropped out. So I'll just move on with it. Yeah. So this is a good opportunity for them to test and see where they stand with the A division team. So a very good opportunity for Lumbini. As Yusran, you mentioned, they might not get the W, but they could get a good morale win out of this, and they should come with the do or die attitude. And Trinity, of course, an opportunity for them to start the season off well. They won the knockouts, and now it's a league season, so a win is on the cards for them. A huge win is on the cards for them. But yes, as we said, we hope that Lumbini comes out with do or die attitude and give a good fight.
Yeah. And I think ඊළඟ ගේම් එක අපිට තියෙන්නේ කිංස්වුඩ් සහිර ඒ මැච්
වා,
එකක්
වා,
තියෙනවා. බෝ ලොකු දෙයක්. අපි කන්ටිනියු කරගෙන ගියා. ඊළඟ දැන් අපි කතා කරන්නේ අන්තිම මැච් එක ගැන.
Yeah. මේ කිංස්වුඩ් සහිර මැච් එකට මේ අකිල් පපරේ බෑන්ඩ් හොයනවා, ෆොටෝග්‍රාෆර් හොයනවා. මට හොයන්න පපරේ බෑන්ඩ් එකක් නැද්ද කියලා අහනවා.
නෑ ඉතින් අපිට පුළුවන් විදිහට අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ මැච් එකක් ගාදී අපි සපෝට් එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ යුස්සා.
අනිවාර්යෙන්ම. ඉතින්
මම
එහෙම
යනවා
ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් සපෝට් එකකුත් දීපා. නැද්ද කිව්වේ?
මම යනවා ඉතින් ඔක තමයි කිව්වේ මම ෂෝ එක පටන් ගන්න කලින් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉස්කෝලේ ගැන හොඳ කතා කරන්න. අරදී මොකක් කියන්න එපා මම කිලෝමීටර් 110ක් විතර ට්‍රැවල් කරන්න ඕනේ. පෙරස්ලත් එක්ක. නැත්තම් මම ඉවරයි කිලෝමීටර් 110ම මට බැනුමාගෙන තමයි යන්න වෙන්නේ. So let's come to the game between Zaira and Kingswood. I think this will be played at Bogambara නේද? පොඩ්ඩක් කතා තේනවා වෙන එක මාරු වෙයි කියලා. ඇත්තද යුස්මන් කෙවින්? අපි නෝර කොල්ලගේ නාමනේ.
ඔව්.
නෝර කොල්ල මොනවද කියන්නේ?
So obviously visiting teams don't like to play at Bogambara. Like not the best of grounds to play rugby. Like it was good back then, but over the past years with the rainfall and all, the ground hasn't been maintained well. But damn poddak tatte hondai, but it is a very hard ground. You see a lot of players getting injured over there over the past few years. Like even like some other teams in Kandy doesn't like to play at Bogambara because they know that it is a very injury prone ground. But then again, there are a few advantages that you have when you play at Bogambara, especially when you play from the left to right. The wind advantage will always be there, and teams have capitalized that advantage over the past few years. So yes, there is a bad side and a good side as well. But Bogambara, with the action packed very close to the ground, it is a the atmosphere at the ground is very good, I would say. But as far as rugby playing conditions are concerned, not the best of venues. But hopefully they'll do something better, and maybe the ground staff would work by watering the ground or whatever before the game, and it will be suitable for playing.
And I think last time මම 2016 එහි සෙල්ලම් කරද්දී අර ස්ටීල් කානුවක් තිබ්බා දෙපැත්තේ. ඒක තාම තියෙනවද?
පොඩක් add කරලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් පොඩක් අර reconstruct කරා, but it's still there.
ඕ නැත්නම් අර ඒ බෝඩ් දාලා ඒක වහන්න වෙනවා.
දැන් පොඩක් add කරලා දෙයි. ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ දැන් ලොකුවට නෑ.
That's
they reconstructed the ground few years back, but still it's more of an athletic squirt හදපු ground එකක් වගේ. So they run on the ground and spikes දාගෙන දුවනවා. ඊට පස්සේ you know අනිත් discus javelin ඔක්කොම කරන හින්දා පොඩ්ඩක් issue එකක් තියෙනවා.
උස්ලානේ වැටුණාද කානුවේ නෑනේ.
නෑ මගේ ඔළුව වැදුනා මම මෙතන මේ මෙගොල්ලන්ගේ ගාඩි තමයි ඇන්තෝ එක්ක තමයි අපේ දිනුක්ලත් එක්ක දිනුක් සෑමීත් එක්ක මේ මට අසීස් හායි කියනවා අස්ලාම් අලයිකුම් අසීස් කොහමද but anyway yeah my prediction අපිට බෝගම්බර මේවනේ zaira බෝගම්බර කලින් සෙල්ලම් කරද්දී we had a good experience and we won that game. ඉතින් මට ඒගොල්ලන් බෝගම්බර ගැව්වත් නිත්තවල ගැව්වත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මේ ටීම් එක confidently ගිහිල්ලා සෙල්ලම් කරා නම් ඉතින් because honestly at the end of the day Kingswood train කරන ground එකත් වැඩිය if you've been to the Trinity College school and if they're training in that ground, that if you've seen it, ඒක ඒ තරම්ම ලොකු ground එකකුත් නෙමෙයි, ඒ තරම්ම හොඳ condition තියෙන ground එකකුත් නෙමෙයි ඉස්කෝලේ ඇතුලේ තියෙන එක. At the same time Zaira College Colombo ground එකත් අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ it's not the most ideal. It's a good ground, but it's not the most ideal ground to be playing in. හැබැයි team එක confident වෙන්නේ because අපි Zaira College ground එකේ සෙල්ලම් කරද්දී ඉස්සර ground එක නිකන් concrete වගේ. So වැටුණත් රිදෙනවා. ඉතින් අපිට ඒකේ සෙල්ලම් කරලා ඕන තැනක ගහන්න ලෑස්ති. And especially turf එකත් මැද තියෙනවා cricket turf එක. So practice කරන කාලේ turf එක වහන්නේ. turf එක උඩට වැටුණා කියන්නේ your hands and legs and whole body is going to get good wounds. So අපි සෙල්ලම් කරලා we were very පදම් වෙලා හිටියේ ඕන ground එක සෙල්ලම් කරන්න except air force. මම air force ground එකේ ගහන්න ආසම නැති ground එක. මොකද as a runner මට හරි මගේ speed එක ඒම් පිටින්ම බහිනවා when I play at air force. with the wind, with the ground conditions, Sri Lanka hari amari, but Bogambara, Nittavela, I love to play in those times because duan dupla hundata. ඉතින් මේ ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් වෙනුම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නොකර ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයිගේ සේෆ්ටි එක අනිවාර්යෙන් සලකා බලන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඒ පැත්ත රෙෆරීස්ලා ඕගනයිසර්ස්ලා ඒ පැත්ත green light එක දුන්නා නම් as a team I think Zahira are also ready to go and play anywhere. But if you go into the game, Akhil, forgetting about the venue, on paper again I think Zahira would be the favorites to win this. මොකද performance එක අපි බැලුවොත් in the knockouts they were really good, had great fluidity. They were a team again like Trinity, cross kicks දානවා, you know, හොඳ set piece වලින් moves ටිකක් දානවා, and the runners ලා confidently gaps වලට ගහනවා. So they are gelled really well too. So really good sign for Zahira College. And Kingswood again, they over the years I think Jansen ගේ අවුරුද්දෙන් පස්සේ ගොඩක් උඩට එන්න උත්සාහ කරලා තියෙනවා Kingswood. But ඒ වගේ players ලා අපේ Jansen, DX වගේ players ලා ආසිරි and then දැන් අපේ විංග කවුද දිනාලේකනායක, ඉතින් ඒ players ලා ඔක්කොම දැන් out වුණාට පස්සේ තාම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ අඩුපාඩු පුරවන්න ඒ quality players ලා තාම ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ කියලා මට හිතෙනවා. So unless Kingswood play as one, you know, good unit, hari අමාරු ඒගොල්ලන්ට හොඳ player කෙනෙක්ව feed කරලා hari මේ gap එකට ගහන්න මෙතනට දුවන්න කියලා ඒ space වලට දාලා දෙන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ඒ තාම ඒගොල්ලන් they are finding themselves as a team. I think ඒක click වුණොත් it will be a really good fight, but my money is on Zahira.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, Akhil, so Kingswood, over the last few years, they were in a rabbit hole where they couldn't really come up. They were losing game after game after game. But the performance that they brought in last year was really commendable, because sometimes when you are on the downhill for 3 seasons in a row, it is really hard to bring up that upward trajectory like how they brought in last year. But Kingswood, I believe that they performed really well last year, so they should just move on to a positive side from where they left last year. So I feel like Kingswood will be a better outfit than what we saw from 2021 to 24, because last year they did really well, I believe, compared to the previous years. So Zahira, again, on paper, one of the best sides. The only side, I believe, who gave a tough fight to Trinity in that knockouts. If not, Trinity were just walking through each game. So, yes, I hope that it will be a good game, because Kingswood love to play at Bogambara, and, you know, that's why they stick to Bogambara, and they win a lot of games at Bogambara. Right from the days I know, they only play at Bogambara when they host a game. So, yes, let's hope that it will be a good game and that Kingswood turns up as the team that they turned up last year.
Yes, and බලමු අපි මේ ගොඩක් කාල පස්සේ නෝරේනවා, නෝර පොඩක් කාලා බීලා මැච් එක බලලා එමු. එහෙනම් last game, last 2 games, Isipatana versus St. Anthony's match again. Yes, Kevin, all yours.
No, let's start from Yusran and then I'll talk about it.
I think Anto team එක ඇත්තටම කිව්වොත් මම Kingswood ගැන කිව්වා වගේම තමයි Anthony's has also been relying on certain players to pull the rabbit out of the hat. ඉතින් ඒ reliance එක ගොල්ලෝ අතාරින්න ඕනේ ඇත්තටම. They need to believe in the whole team as one unit, because අපි දැන් ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ගත්තත් හිටියා හොඳ full back කෙනෙක්, ගොඩාක් එයා මත rely වුණා game එක. So ඊට කලින් අවුරුද්දෙත් හිටියා ඒ වගේ center combination එකක් fly half කෙනෙක්. ඉතින් ගොඩක් බලාපොරොත්තු තියන් ඉන්නේ මේ එක එක players ලා ගැන, and you can't expect rugby වගේ game එකක් එහෙම ඇදන් යන්න තනි පුද්ගලයෙක්ට. දැන් cricket වගේ එක්කෙනෙක් 100ක් ගැව්වොත් එක්කෙනෙක් 50ක් ගැව්වොත් team එකට හොඳ chance එකක් තියෙනවා. දැන් rugby වල football වල ක්‍රීඩාවල එහෙම කරන්න බෑ අපිට. So they need to trust themselves as a unit. හොඳට එකමුතුව ක්‍රීඩා කරලා ඒ win එක ගන්න තමයි බලා ගන්න. So if Anto, I think I don't recall their knockout game. Who did they play with?
Royal.
Yeah, they played Royal, yes. And so a match එක ඇත්තටම මගේ මතකේ හැටියට Royal scored around 30ish, right? 32, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
30 to 15, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 30 to 15 වගේ ගානක් ගැව. So අපිට එතනින් අපිට බලා හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්, okay, so the St. Anthony's team are not a walk over the park for any other team. Then පතන ගත්තත් පතන against Royal, we saw although it was a close game, Royal definitely had the edge, and I think the physical game was a big part. මොකද අපි දැක්කා Royal skipper Disas, the way he captained and he led the team. දැනගත්තා දැන් 10 meters එක ඇතුලේ ඉද්දී යා බෝල ඉල්ලන් ගේන් ලයින් එක පහු කරනවා කොහොම හරි මීටර් 5 ගාවට යන්න හදන්නේ. and then ඕන breakdown එක ඒ වගේ player කෙනෙක් lead කරනවා pack එක අඬ ගහලා. So and physically also they were high. So St. Anthony's played against them and coming close. St. Anthony's is a very good outfit. So going into the Patana game, I think where are they playing the game?
Havelock Park.
So they're playing at Isipatana's home. So they'll have to be very mindful of that. They're traveling and coming down to Avis Kianne. Although Salman Faris says his gut feeling is Antho can upset Patana, my gut feeling is the other way around. I think Patana, I'm sorry, but Kevin, but I think Antho will not be able to get that win in the first game against Patana, although it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a 15-point game max.
Yeah. So as Yusran said, Patana are heavy favorites coming into the game. So, but the positives that I see from this Anthony's outfit from the last year is that their pack this year is very well structured, and they have a good leader who's leading them, because despite losing to Royal, they created a lot of opportunities. It was just those last few quarters of the game where they couldn't they couldn't keep the icing on the cake. It was like not just not converting the good opportunities into point scoring opportunities. So their line is on the weaker side. Generally, you see a very good line when you talk about St. Anthony's, despite the pack being on this more of a second fiddle. By this time, the pack is really good. But if they can click well with the line, I wouldn't say they would beat Patana, but they will give a good fight. And again, Havelock Park hasn't looked really great over the past few days. Even in the DS game, it's still running on my mind. Romario started off saying, "We are live here from the dirty-looking Havelock Park." So it's like not the best of conditions now. So it will be a tough game for St. Anthony, especially with the heat and everything is concerned. But if they can if they can click well together, and if the pack can be good or get better than show a better fight than what they showed at Royal, they could really cause some trouble to Isipatana. But Isipatana are heavy favorites heading into the game. But second year running for Salih Kumar as well, and he has a lot to prove as well, because he came from a championship winning side to St. Anthony's, and he didn't come for no reason. He came to prove that he could he could do well with a side like St. Anthony's as well, because St. Anthony's in the last few years only one standout season. That was when Sahan Ketasiri captain, because they became the top scorer. Other than that, they had good teams, but they couldn't really show up when it mattered. So a huge season, a huge game for St. Anthony's. Even if they lose, they have to show that they are a better side than what they were last year, because a lot relies on that game.
Just to add on to that, I think Anthony's a game they have to be mindful to play in the opposition half. I think that would be a really big game changer. ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් නම් ඒ ඉසිපතන half එකේම ශ්‍රී ලංකා territorial kicks ටිකක් kick කරලා ඊට පස්සේ line outs දෙනලා ඒ ඉසිපතන half එකේම ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් that will make a world of difference for Anthony's, and maybe even might change the outcome of the game, because that's exactly what Royal did to Isipatana. They never let them come to play in their own half. They always played in the opposition half. So if Antho duplicate and replicate that same tactic, might go well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add on one more thing, in that Royal game, what didn't really work for St. Anthony's were they didn't have a very good kicker, because a lot of those touch finders, they opted to go for the longer side, looking to do things that are not basic, but trying to go long, and ball didn't even find the touch. It fell right inside. So evaga opportunities godak miss kara. So they had a good 3 week or so break to work on themselves. They had few practice games in between. So let's hope that they turned up a better outfit than what they turned up against Royal, because this team has potential, but Patana, of course, favorites.
Yes, and the last game of the week one, Royal versus Science. I think this will be played at Science ground. Mahitan Neuzan.
Again, Royal, especially being the runner-up of the knockout and right now being a top team, they will have an easy win over Science. Although when I say easy win, Akhil, I don't mean a 50 plus like I predicted earlier with Trinity, but I feel like Royal can dominate that game right from the get-go. Especially given the fact that they have a more balanced side in terms of attack and also in terms of physicality. Their forwards are much bigger than the Science forwards. So Science, as we all know, they have some great runners. They've had some great runners over the years. So they'll definitely be looking to outrun them in the corners. So and now that everybody has spotted that weak link in the Royal team, the back three and the way they form and the space that they expose in the wings, that is something that Science will definitely be targeting. So we can expect to see a lot of kicks from the Science camp. We'll see a lot of cross kicks. I think if they go for it, it'll be a good deal for them. And if the chasers can pick up the ball, so that's when ball handling skills will come into play. So if Science College can hold on, it can grab on to the grab onto the ball in open play, then definitely they can put up a good fight. But I feel like Royal might come out on top with about 35 points to 10 ish kind of win.
Yes, and Kevin.
Yeah, again, another tough venue to play if you are in opposition. But given the fact that Science hasn't really been uh, good in the last few years, they have been always on the bottom half of everything. I believe Royal have the edge, and Royal have a lot to prove after that loss against Trinity. So they'll probably come up bang bang when they come into this game. And yes, so yes, will be a very tough game for Science and a tough challenge for them as well. But Royal, I believe, will definitely have the upper hand. So yes, did we cover all the games?
I think we did cover kara ho nahi ho mama දැන් යනවා. I have to go for a small matter, but thank you Akhil for having me. Thanks Kevin for me coming on the show. It's been nice to chat to you after a long time. So I'll see you guys next week after the first round.
Yes.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Yes, we covered all the games. Yuzdan prediction thi WhatsApp karanna. Kevin August prediction hi WhatsApp karanna. So we will post the prediction. And what about the score prediction for All Blacks 85 kg versus Cecil Tuskers? Any prediction that you can make on that?
I don't want to make predictions on that because I know that the Sri Lankan team can do well because they have a good team. But again, considering the last year's results, you can't really predict much. But I really hope that will be a good game, and I hope Sri Lanka somehow finds a way to win. Won't be easy, but let's hope that they find a way to win. And Akhil, I would shout out that they would sponsor it because third year running in the show, third year, third year, eh?
Third year
running in the show, and we have a sponsor, guys. Coverage partner Multilac right over here. See, Multilac, become a sponsor again, one of the top brands. I think I'm a creative partner in Mark UI, another huge brand. So we have two brands on two sides, Multilac and Mark UI. And if you like to sponsor money for this show, and if you want your brand to be visible, contact Akhil right now.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thanks for that. And thanks, Kevin, for joining the show as well. Api Nuwara, I think you will be busy this weekend. Api Nuwara, Nuwara yanawa. So Nuwara put it over Gala, Buryani ka khala, match එක බලලා අවශ්‍ය කොළඹට එමු. So we'll hope all the games will be very good and interesting කියලා හිතමු because the league first week of the league but looking like a very interesting league කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ පාර.
Yeah, over the past few years, there's always been one upset in the first week. So let's hope it'll be similar. Unfortunately, Jose has been on the receiving end for the last few years. Maybe not this year. So let's hope that there'll be one upset that will really kick the league off.
Yes, and an upset, and we'll see. බලමු අපි මේ පාර ලීග් එක ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකේ හම්බෙමු කෙවින්. Thanks
See
for
you.
joining
Thank
once
you.
again. And
Thank you everyone for joining in.
yes, thank you Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
Nature continuously challenges us. We innovate solutions through science. A revolutionary breakthrough in paint protection. Multilac Multi-Protector 3-in-1. Powerful protection for you and your home. We innovate solutions for those challenges and validate them through rigorous testing. Nature continuously challenges us. Protects from water leaks and dampness caused by rain. Reduces indoor temperature compared to outside. A breakthrough in paint technology. Multilac Multi-Protector 3-in-1. Powerful protection for you and your home.